It's a week 10 of college football. Mark Rogers TV breaking it down with Josh Parcell. You can join him on College Football Country, CFBcountry.com. Josh, always love the discussion. What's going on today?
Hey, man, just ready for another week of college football. Starts tonight. We got a couple of big games on Friday night, and then I'm excited for a loaded slate on Saturday. This is maybe the best week we've had in at least a month.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter a whole lot, but it's pretty much the lone Friday night game, at least for the ACC, when you talk Florida State going to Boston College. So the Eagles, you would think, would be at a huge disadvantage, and they are athletically, but we know who's playing the better football right now. It's BC. Pretty impressive wins over Louisville and a 5-1 Virginia team that might have been a bit of a facade, but they still dominated the Cavaliers, while Florida State continues to stumble around. They lost to Louisville at home, coughed up the football in the red zone late in the game to give it up to the Cardinals. How do you handicap this one?
Well, Florida State's the favorite. There's no doubt they have more talent than Boston College. Nobody's going to question that. But like you said, these are two teams going in complete opposite directions. And also Florida State losing Jock Patrick, one of their stud running backs, to an injury. The injury list just continues to pile up in Tallahassee. James Blackman has still been very unsteady at quarterback for them. He's had his moments where he's looked pretty good, but he's not a guy that I really want to trust. And for Boston College, they've got an excellent defensive line. And Florida State's biggest weakness is on the offensive line and at quarterback. Boston College is going to put pressure on Blackman. I think this is a really hard spot for Florida State. Seminoles team that has not covered in its last 6 games against the spread. Boston College, meanwhile, has covered 5 straight. So the Eagles going upwards, Florida State trending in the wrong direction. And BC just 2 weeks ago beat that Louisville team that knocks off Florida State. I like what the Eagles are doing. There's so many question marks around Florida State. Jimbo Fisher having to answer questions about his staff, about getting into it with fans after the game. There's just so many distractions right now in Tallahassee. While I think Boston College is coming in on a mission knowing that they need to get a couple more wins to maintain bowl eligibility. This is a great chance for them to get one. And Steve Adazio maybe saving his job week by week up there in Chestnut Hill.
Yeah, Josh, it's a recent series that has seen Boston College hang tough with Florida State. A couple of years ago, when Boston College had one of the best defenses in the country, they held down Florida State to 1 touchdown. FSU had a defensive touchdown in a 14-0 game at BC. Jameis Winston in his senior season, that Florida State team that went undefeated until they got rocked at the Rose Bowl against Oregon, needed a late touchdown to pull out a game against BC. The national championship run in 2013 was marred by a BC 17-0 lead that Florida State had to overcome. So Boston College has been a tricky spot for Florida State and much better Florida State team. So, with the weather getting colder and Florida State having to make a trip to the Northeast, it could get interesting on Friday night at Chestnut Hill.